Here's an image of a contemporary woman today at Niagara Falls with a wedding couple from a vintage era. How do we do this? Let's do it. Here's the image right here of the couple. And if I turn this layer off, this is the original image of the woman without the couple. How do we do that? All right, well, we'll take our image right here and we can do one of two things. We could use the move tool and drag up to the tab here and then drop them into the scene. That's one way to do it. Or you can do a Command A, Command C. A selects all, C copies, and then Command V to paste. And there we go. Two different ways to do it. All right. So now we need to put them in the space. Let's make the opacity down a little bit so we can see what's going on. Command T to transform. Shift and drag one of the corners. Let's put them over here. They're hanging out. Rule of thirds, right? This is where they were standing when they were married in Niagara Falls. All right, I think that looks good. They look smaller than the woman on the left, which is closer to us. That's perspective. Press Enter or Return on a Mac. Now what we need to do is bring the opacity back to 100%. And we want it to be black and white. Image adjustments, desaturate. There we go, it's black and white now. We want to put a mask on it, a little black square with a circle in it. That makes a little mask right here, see that? Now we'll zoom in, it's going to be pixelated because the image isn't very big. We're going to use a soft brush, soft round brush, and we're going to use black in the foreground color because when we're on a mask, black conceals the image and white reveals the image. That's why we use masks. If we mess up, if we go too far into the guy's face, we can bring it back by putting white brush. All right, I'm going to use a small brush, get really small here, use the black on the foreground color. And let's go around his head and his shoulders. Now, this is going to take a little time. I'm using a Wacom Cintiq, which is a tablet, and I'm using a pen instead of a mouse, so I have more detail easiness. Use a space bar to become the move tool, the hand tool. Going around his dark suit is going to be really easy, but going around her white gown is going to be harder because there's going to be dark areas around her gown from the background. And we want to get rid of all of that. So it's better to cut into the fabric than leave the dark shadows around it. Now, they're not going to have any shadows because they're ghosts, so I'm not worrying about shadows for this project. If this were a real person that we were posting into this image, I would worry about highlights and shadows and where the sun is coming from or where the main light source is coming from. All right, we're almost on the woman down here. Now, this is a lot easier with my Wacom Cintiq using my pen. It's going to be a lot tougher if you're just using a mouse. But you can still do it. You can still achieve the same look. Just take a little longer. So I think all graphic designers should get a tablet or some kind of I'm stopping talking because my brain is working. All right, we're going around. Up here. You can see I'm getting rid of all the dark area around her. There's no dark area on her outlines. Trying at least. I'll zoom out once I'm done, or once I think I'm done, to see what else needs to be addressed. Little dark areas, gotta watch out for those on the white. It's tough right in there. All right, I've gone around everything. I'll get the polygon lasso tool and I will go close to the bodies instead of using the brush to get rid of the excess. I'll use the polygon lasso tool. All right, I selected the people, so I need to do a select inverse to get the background, not the people. So I select everything else but. And then I'm on the mask. So instead of using the brush to get rid of it, I'm going to use a black background so I can do edit fill. And I use black, click OK, ba-bam! Command D to deselect. Let's zoom out, double click on the magnifying tool to make it 100%. Are they looking good? Let's see. Oh, I see there's a thing behind his head over here. It makes it look like it's part of him. So we can click on the layer, use the right and left arrow keys to push over to the right a little bit and push them back a little bit. Let's put them over there. So they're used to be here, now they're here. All right, and do they need to be smaller? I don't know, but it's looking good. And now we'll take the opacity of this layer down so they look like ghosts. Bring them down a little bit. How far do we go? 50% is probably too much. 63% looks pretty good. All right, and there you have it.